Good morning, welcome to Shul.com at the Surfside Kolel Boker. This morning we have an unbelievable Segula with a story. I'm going to blow you guys away because today's story is a personal story. So I'm going to show you a Mishnah, I'm going to show you something that happened, and the lesson I learned, I've used this after this story that I saw at least 3 or 4 times in my life. So I'm going to give you something, you're going to walk home today with something in your pocket. It's a Mishnah, it's found in Perek Tet, it's Mishnah Hey. Okay, so you remember it's in Masechet Berachot, Perek Tet, Mishnah Hey. Chayav Adam levarech al hara'a keshem shehu mevarech al hatova. The Mishnah states something that's a blockbuster, but we don't really understand it. It says Hayav, a person is required to bless on the negative things and bad things that he thinks in his life, the same way he blesses on the good. שנאמר ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. And then it tells you בכל לבבך בשני יצריך, with your יצר הטוב and יצר הרע. And it tells you בכל נפשך אפילו הוא נוטל את נפשך. Even if God takes a person's life, you have to thank him. Now, this is a wild... this is a wild Mishnah. Mishnah is telling you, you have to thank God for the things that are not good in your life. I'm about to share with you a personal story of my sister. So my youngest sister, we are, Baruch Hashem, 5 siblings in my family. My youngest sister, she's the last to get married. And after she got married, after a few months, Baruch Hashem, she got pregnant. She had a baby girl, beautiful baby girl, one of my favorite nieces. And she tried to get pregnant again. And she had one difficulty, another one. Then she got pregnant. And then after a month, she lost the baby, miscarriage. Then she got pregnant again. And she lost the baby a second time after 3 or 4 months in. Then after like maybe 3 years, couple of years of trying doctors, she went to rabbis, she went to speak with people. She couldn't get it. And one doctor was telling her like, that she may not be able to have more children. And it was kind of weird. I'll tell you why it was weird, because when they named the first daughter, you see, my mother, her Hebrew name is Esther, okay? But her English name is Stella. So when they named the baby the daughter, they named her by the father's mother's name first, and then they put my mom's name secondary. And I remember my mom telling my sister at the time, you know, I don't know if you're going to have more daughters, so name her now. Wow. It was kind of interesting. She was almost like kind of setting things up, like almost saying something in a negative way. But Baruch Hashem, she ended up getting pregnant after a couple of years, and she was about 5 months in, and she lost the baby. And it was a Wednesday. I remember I came home, and I was driving by to go visit her. She lives on East 18. I used to live on East 16 on Brooklyn. I went to go visit her, and I was in the car, and she says, "Did you hear what happened?" I said, "No." She said, "You didn't talk to mom?" I said, "No." So she told me, like, you know, the baby's gone. I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You're like 5 months pregnant." And she was like tearing up and everything. And she's like, you know, "What am I supposed to do?" I said, "If you're going to ask me, I'm going to tell you." I said, because I know you went to a lot of doctors, you went to a lot of rabbis. I said, "You really want to know what I think you should do?" She goes, "What?" I said, "I want you to make a big party on Saturday night, and I don't want you to tell anybody why you're inviting them." I said, "Saturday night?" Because I said, right now, the only people who know what you just told me about the baby is me, you, your husband, and my mom. I said, don't tell anybody else. Let's keep this just between us 4 and invite your in-laws, invite mom and dad, all of our siblings, our cousins, invite everybody to the house. We're going to have a beautiful Melaveh Malkan Saturday night, but don't tell them why you are inviting them. So now everybody gets the message, text message, the invitation. And I told her, when they all come, I want you to get up and say that you're celebrating that you lost the baby. And I'll tell you why. I said, because it's very easy for you to identify good in your life. You think God needs you to just come out of your way? God knows what's good for you. But really, everything has a good purpose. But we don't understand it. And you know, we're coming along 5,780 plus years, and we have claims. We tell God, why'd you do it this way? Why'd you do it that way? God says, you come for a couple of years. You don't understand anything. You don't understand how a plane flies. You don't understand how gravity works, but you want to come and explain to me how I'm supposed to run the world. So the Mishnah is telling you, you must bless God in both cases, because I assure you, if you know the other reason, you'd bless him for sure, but we don't. So the Mishnah says to bless. So I told her, invite everybody over, and I want you to tell everybody, we're celebrating tonight, not that God kept the baby, but He chose it should go, but we're going to celebrate it because it already happened multiple times. We keep doing this, so let's just celebrate, because in the Shamayim, I told her, they're not going to expect this back. In the Shamayim, they're expecting a claim. Look at this. Again, I'm a religious person, I give tzedakah, I follow what the rabbi said. I said, send them back a message, return to sender, that's going to mess them up in the Shamayim and going to change and flip the Mekatrigim to Sanegorim. So she tells to me, that's crazy. She goes, it's almost cruel that you say that. I said, okay, what do you have to do? I said, it's a Mishnah Meforash. You want to do it? Do it. You don't want to do it, don't listen to me. Saturday night, I get invited, we go to the house, bagels, tuna fish, egg salad, the whole 9 yards. Beautiful melaveh malka. Now, and she invited her husband's grandma. She must have been 85 years old. They're all coming in, and they're all expecting to finally announce, Baruch Hashem, the baby's coming. So everyone's eating, everyone's super excited, and I'm the only one there, and I'm super serious, and everyone's looking at me. I wasn't biting my nails, but I was definitely, I teared up at least once, because I was like, this is going to go down. There's going to be a river of tears.
What did I do?
I said, it'll be a river of tears right now. So after like maybe 10 minutes, everyone comes, and they all start to eat everything, and everyone's super happy. I see the joy. I feel it. My brother-in-law gets up, and he goes, I want to thank everybody for coming, and we have some news. He said, he says his wife was pregnant, but unfortunately, there was a miscarriage this past Wednesday, and the baby's gone. Suddenly, everyone's like, what? Like, what is this? And he's like, look, had the baby, everything been okay, we would have invited you and told you that this was the news. But it seems in the Shamayim, they didn't want it to come. So what we're doing now is we're just going to celebrate, because this is what God wanted. And we have to believe and accept that He's doing good for us. And he started tearing up. Then she started crying. So my father said, let's all sing Nishmat Kol Chai. So he opens up the Siddur. Rabbi opens it up. He starts to sing, and everyone starts crying. I never saw this in my life. And everyone said, it's going to be good, good. Okay, they all go home. And lo and behold, she gets pregnant a month later. Now, she gets pregnant, and it's a sensitive pregnancy, and she ends up giving birth to the baby about 6 months, premature baby. He ends up being born very small, and I remember the baby had to be in the hospital for a while, and then finally, after like a month or two, he came home, and Baruch Hashem, they gave him Brit Milah, this baby boy, and he's my favorite nephew. I cannot tell you how much I love him. He's small, he didn't grow as much, but Baruch Hashem today he's growing, but he's a fighter. And you see him, he loves life, and he's coming all that. And my sister always tells me, she goes, it's wild. She goes, you know why it worked? Not because we did it, because you believe the Mishnah. Wow. And in life, God really wants to see your heart. More often than not, what are we giving him? We're giving him our intellect. And God's saying, you want to give me intellect? I have all the intellect in the world. I don't need you to give me that. Give me your feeling and give me your heart. And I learned from this an unbelievable experience. And I'll share with you one other story. I live in Miami now, last couple of years, but I bought a house. I have a house in Deal, New Jersey. And I'm not there. I'm across the street from you, Joe. and I'm not there the whole year. So like from September till like June, I don't even know what's going on in the house. I'm not kidding. Like our whole block is empty. I'm not kidding. We live in a neighborhood that if you live there during the year, I don't know what's going to be. Okay, I get a call December 2 years ago, and someone calls me from the police department. Hi, Mr. Dagny. Yeah. I said, what happened? He said there was a flood in your house. I said, flood? And no one called me. I don't know anything. So there was a flood. We had to shut down the electric. There's 7 feet of water in your basement. I said, what? I look online on my water bill. It's like $980. I'm like, oh my God, 20,000 gallons of water. I said, what happened? He said, it looks like there was a pipe. One of the windows opened a little bit. Cold air came in. It froze a pipe. It leaked from here, there. Now I'm in Miami. I'm like, what's going on here? What am I supposed to do? You know what I did? I went to shul that day. I said, Hashem, thank you so much for this. I said, thank you, I love you. I said, I have no idea why this is happening. I said, but I said to him, God, you're doing this for the best. I love you. Okay. What ends up happening? I filed the insurance claim, rejected. I hired an insurance adjuster, rejected again. 4 months in, nothing. I said, God, you're doing everything for the good. If you want me to rebuild this whole house and I have to do it from my pocket, I'm doing it, no problem. And I kept on saying, Hashem, you're doing good. And lo and behold, we made the final claim, taking them to court. They paid for everything. And the entire event, which seemingly would have been a catastrophe, ended up becoming a blessing in a tremendous way. What am I telling you from this story? Is that when things are awkward in your life, send back to the malachim, the katregim, and tell them, thank you. And tell God, I don't understand it, but it's not my business to understand. It's your business to understand. It's my business to bless you for everything. Baruch Adonai, the Olam, Amen, Amen.